I want to ask everyone, what should we suggest everyone in this room do to help move the needle forward with actionable items to make a difference in this industry? We can start with you, Jovan.
I've already said it, so I'll leave the time to others. Expand your network. If you don't have a card of a person of color, if you didn't meet anybody that doesn't look like you at this meeting, you've done it wrong so far. You have an opportunity with the rest of the day to get it right. So expand your network.
I'm going to say the same thing slightly differently. Change your inputs. Just change the people you follow. Change the voices that you listen to. Read things that make you feel uncomfortable. Get out of your own skin a little bit and try and get into the head of someone who doesn't look like you.
Got a little story to go with mine. My husband is half black, half Chinese, and he started his realtor career almost 20 years ago, and he chose for Hollywood Hills to be his farm, which is probably one of the hardest markets to crack, or at least at the time it was. And back then, in order to become a realtor, one of the first things you gotta do is what? Door knock. So he door knocked up and down those hills, and from time to time, he would get the doors slammed on his face. He'd get folks, calling the cops on him. And one specific homeowner was even like, I don't ever want your kind coming around here again. But what did he do? He kept coming around, he kept knocking on those doors, and nearly 20 years later, he is one of the top realtors at Sotheby's International Realty, and he's doing well. So keep knocking on those doors, no matter what anybody tells you, and for the folks who have the power to open up those doors, open up those doors.
And for me, I look at it as the founder of a company, I look at it from a hiring practice standpoint. And the analogy I look at is the Masked Singer and the Voice. You don't see anybody who's singing, dancing, doing whatever. And from the hiring practice that I look at it as is hire, and if you're interviewing somebody, imagine you're interviewing somebody on The Voice. You can't see them. You're going based off talent, you're going based on skill set, their salary's going to be based on that. Everything's going to be based on what you hear and not what you see. And I think that's just a hiring practice that everyone should adopt.
That's perfect. And we'd like to close with
Hold on a second, what's yours?
Oh, yes. Well, that's what's going to be in my closing here is, keep the conversations moving, because for us to continue to make change, we have to talk to each other. There's sometimes you're going to have uncomfortable conversations, but that's part of this process. I'd like to close with the words that Lisa Rice used yesterday: lead with equity. Thank you so much.